Welcome back to another Wednesday edition of Hawk Talk here on 91.7 The Edge, WSUW Whitewater. I'm Carson Storm, joined by my esteemed crew of Mikey, Bruno, Jacob, and Hunter. Unfortunately, Mason had a mishap of schedule conflict, so he is unable to make it at short notice. But for the crew that is here, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good. How about for you?
Oh, great.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's been going pretty good. I mean, for sports-wise, it could be better for me.
Understandable.
But, yeah,
I absolutely feel that pain on a personal level.
Yeah, Seattle sports and Chicago sports are pretty similar right now, I would say.
God, it's brutal.
And Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's
Wisconsin especially.
Well, Wisconsin. Yeah, actually, no. Yeah, actually, all three are pretty sucky right now. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But we're gonna do the little Warhawk thought this time, a little different. Similar to a couple weeks ago where I had us do the Weddle, and it didn't work out because I found out that apparently every screen is different for the player. But
I think only mine was different because everyone else is.
Everybody else had something different.
Maybe I played it earlier in the day. I just didn't remember doing it. I don't know.
Interesting. So you completely ignored the warning. Nice.
Maybe I did. I don't know.
Good to know.
I'm a terrible.
I think he went on the wrong website. That's what because there's multiple Weddle websites. But I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows?
I was playing the hard Weddle or something, not the normal one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe. But we're going to do it on one screen here this time, and then I'll just display the information to you guys. So we're going to start with Hunter. Give us the first player. Who do you think? Just a basis.
Let's start with Drake London.
Drake London, okay.
It's a respectable decision.
Yeah, Mr. Bowling Pin himself. Oh, so they are a wide receiver. They're in the NFC. Lower than 6'4", older than 23.
Okay.
So the big thing is that they're
Higher
in the
number than
NFC and they're wide receiver.
Just for clarification, on my screen, I'm seeing the same thing. So
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
all right, sweet, perfect.
Yay. We're
balling.
Okay, so then
my gosh.
I'll probably just say it for our listeners out there just to describe. Jacob, you're up with this information. Who do you think?
So he could either be in the NFC or the AFC South. Is that?
No, he's in the
just
NFC.
NFC.
For sure in the
He's in the
NFC.
Yeah, NFC only.
Older than 23. He's a bit older than 23. I'm gonna go Cooper Kupp.
Oh, imagine this is it right
That
here.
honestly might be it.
Great guess.
Oh, that's
Great
pretty close.
So he's
In the NFC
20s.
West. Okay, I think I have a good basis of who this
Yeah.
is. Although I think the guy I'm thinking of is taller than 6'2", but we'll leave that up to Bruno. Who do you think it is?
Well, I don't. Isn't Jigba older than 23?
No,
he's younger.
He is much younger. I think he's like 20, 21.
I think he's 22.
22.
I'll look right now.
No, yeah, he might be 22. I think he is 22, actually.
Yep, he is. 22.
Now.
Brandon Ayuk, maybe?
Ooh, Ayuk? Okay.
I think Ayuk's a lot old.
Ayuk.
Oh, wait, no.
I think he's like 25.
He's not on mine.
I don't know how to spell his name for some reason.
He's
Ayuk.
not. Oh,
Yeah.
it might be because he's hurt. I think they
Yeah,
take
it's because
that
he's
into
hurt.
account.
Oh, okay.
That makes
Yeah,
things
because
significantly
he's not showing
harder.
up on mine either.
That makes
Okay.
things harder.
All right, well,
Well,
that's a swing and a
sucks.
miss. Mikey.
Oh, you're not even going to give him another guess? Oh,
Oh, well,
gosh.
oh, yeah, I guess I probably
I was about to
should,
say,
yeah.
you gotta
My
at
bad,
least
my
let
bad,
him
my
get the
bad.
guess down.
My bad. Swing.
I don't think it's right, but Puka, he's not on here either.
Oh, yeah, because he's also.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm done. Pass it.
Only gave
All right,
up.
that's it. I'm kind of there.
All right, now, Mikey.
Oh, gosh. So what we got? We got Seattle, San Francisco, or
Mm-hmm.
Arizona.
Yep.
Is Greg Dortch still on the Cardinals?
Are you seriously guessing Dortch right
Greg
now?
Dortch? Let me get Greg Dortch on there right now.
Oh, my gosh. Greg.
That was
Yeah,
close.
we know who it
He's
is.
on
He's on the
Arizona.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
We know
Oh.
who it is.
Keep
Oh,
hating.
I know
so
exactly
I would have
who it
been
is,
wrong.
Carson.
Oh, I didn't know he was
Okay.
5'7". Yeah. Keep hating Carson. All right.
Shoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's 24, 25.
Yeah, and the
well.
guy that I'm thinking of is much younger.
Yeah, you're thinking of Marv, aren't you?
No, I was thinking of Michael Wilson.
Put in Michael Wilson.
Is it really Michael Wilson?
could be.
I'm convinced it's Michael
Oh.
Wilson.
I'm undefeated at this game, so if it is Michael Wilson, Oh, let's go. Good job, guys.
Too easy.
Sweet.
I'm just saying,
Here we
I
go.
don't ever want to hear you hate on another one of my takes ever again after that. Are you really going
You know,
Greg Dortch right
I
now?
thought it was going to be
Seriously?
DK Metcalf for a good chunk there. I thought it was going to be DK Metcalf.
Well, I don't think DK is 6'2".
Well, you were a couple
That's-
inches
that's the
off
thing
on
that
Greg
got me.
Dortch.
Yeah.
DK's
I didn't know
big
Greg
guy.
Dortch was 5'7". I did not know he was 5'7". I thought he was like 6'1", 6'2".
All
Clearly, I
right.
don't know enough ball to know Greg Dortch is
Not a
above.
ball knower.
Starting the day off with a win. We are now 1-0 in Weddle, so just like the Bucks. Hopefully
One
we
win.
can have a better streak than them, but we'll swing right into the first topic of the day, the nasty North. Now, I'm sure we all know the NFC North this year is arguably the best division in football. I forget the point differentials on it, but I think last I checked, the Packers had the lowest, and it was like 40 something. Just crazy stat for that. Whereas other divisions have like 20 as their
It's
top.
currently
So.
the Chicago Bears with 24.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I went down quite a bit since the
Yeah,
last I
that
checked,
doesn't.
but
Yeah,
still,
when you get blown out by 20
yeah.
Yeah, when you get
Kinda makes sense.
destroyed by the Cardinals.
by Michael Wilson and the
Yeah,
Cardinals.
when Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch and the Cardinals
That's
toast you.
funny that Weddle's player was Michael Wilson. Wow. How about that?
You know,
Awesome.
it wasn't even Michael Wilson that did the damage, but we'll get to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
All right, but with this topic, we're just going to be talking about the NFC North as a whole. I know the Lions had a big trade for them with Zadarius Smith, possibly making them Super Bowl favorites, adding in the trenches, and then the Favre-like imitations from Love, and then Chicago actually having a functional offense. I mean, it didn't really show up this past week, but
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a diehard Bears fan. This offense
they
is
got-
not
they got the
functional.
the
best
offense is
punter.
way better than before.
Oh, way
they got
better
the
than
best
before.
punter in the league,
Functional
though.
is nowhere close. This is. I'm sorry. We'll wait till we get to the Bears.
Am I
We'll
allowed to
talk
say
about it.
that? Am I allowed to say that Jordan Love for Torrey Taylor would not be a horrible trade for the Green Bay Packers?
Nope. Yeah,
With
that would be a
with Malik
terrible.
Willis, with Malik Willis at QB.
Yeah, no, I think there's a reason why you're not a GM.
Yeah. The
I
Georgia
want,
stuff
I
went
want the best
crazy.
punter in the league, personally.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to start over here with Mikey. Let's start from the top, the Lions. What do you think about the Lions?
I'm just gonna say it. They're the prominent king in the NFL. I don't care that the Chiefs are undefeated. They are easily the worst undefeated team I've ever seen touch
Yep.
the football field.
Hands down.
I mean, it's week after week. They're going one score game every single time. The Lions are just blowing opponents out of the water. I mean, right now the point differential is 110. That's insane.
Yeah.
110 is insane.
Used to be 60 just like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
That's
but
the crazy thing.
Then they played the Titans and
oh, yeah.
scored 52 on them, and then scored only. I mean, Green Bay's defense held them to 20, or not even held them to 17, because pick six. But easily they are the prominent king in the NFL. And if you don't believe me, just look at the numbers. Jared Goff is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. He is, I will say, probably one of the biggest check down merchants in the NFL.
Thank
from,
you.
Yeah, huge.
Thank
From what
you.
I've seen,
Huge.
but that doesn't take away what they've done
Yeah.
by any means. The line gives him plenty of time to throw the ball. He can extend the ball downfield. I mean, he did it last week with Sam Laporta. He did it with Amon Ra for a play. But most of the time, you're going to see him throw that just an easy dump off, and it works every time. The key's the yak for the team. Sam Laporta just bowling through people. He hasn't been as good as he was last season, but he's been serviceable as a tight end. Amon-Ra St. Brown, of course, one of the most. I call him a dual threat sort of because he can play outside and slot very effectively. But another key would be the O-line, the running game, Sonic
Yeah,
and
the
Knuckles.
O-line is, Sonic,
Sonic
and
and
Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Yep. I love that team name.
That's
love that nickname.
one of the greatest duo names I've heard since Boom and Zoom with
Boom and Zoom.
Mark Ingram
Ooh.
and Alvin Kamara. That's what they call themselves, Boom and Zoom.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Thunder and Lightning.
No, it was Boom and Zoom. But
Yeah.
but then you got Ben Johnson calling the shots on that offense too. Mm-hmm. He has been by far the best play caller in the NFL.
Yeah, and if I recall, didn't Ben Johnson say that he wanted to go to the Bears at
Yeah,
one point?
he did.
Oh my God, you're like rubbing
Wow.
salt in the wound right now.
Wow.
At this
I
After
point.
wasn't
last
even-
year.
I wasn't even gonna mention that.
No, I just wanted to say it.
it's just
wanted to say it.
outrageous.
It's true.
Oh
It's
my
true.
God.
Yeah, his name came up. There's like multiple Bears fans in here.
Should have
It was
taken
a
it
match
when we
made.
had it.
But yeah, I mean, along with that offense, the defense, it's looking pretty solid. Of course, taking that hit, losing Aiden Hutchinson is always going to sting when he sacked sack leader through, what was it, like 5 weeks, I think, before they played Dallas. Something like that with 6.5. But looking to pick up a little bit of what he left with the addition of Zadarius Smith at the deadline. I don't remember what the trade, I think it was like a 7th or something. It wasn't anything
Yeah, it was
insane.
like a later round pick.
Yeah, it was day 3 pick for sure for Zadarius Smith. The defense overall, solid job limiting the points from the opposition, especially how much time the offense gets with the ball. Their time of possession usually is in the higher 30 area. Realistically, this team is an easy Super Bowl contender.
I believe so too. The only thing that I don't like about them is how scummy their defense can be. I mean, Kirby Joseph looks a little too aggressive at times. Almost looks like he's like targeting people to injure them.
The cut stick tackle where you just go for the knees.
Yeah, it's just, and that's just not right. I don't like that. And then Brian Branch, where it almost looked like he was purposefully doing helmet-to-helmet contact with the Packers on Sunday, and then I believe he flipped off some fans on the way out,
he flipped
too.
off the whole stadium on his way out.
He did apologize for that, which is nice, but still, scummy move. I mean,
he was forced to
They
apologize.
did this Stafford called them out for that last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, he
when
called
they-
out Joseph. He said, I like you, but you're dirty.
Yeah.
You're a dirty player.
yeah, that's just something that I really wish they would change, because I do like the personality of the team, from the coaching staff to the special teams. I love every bit of that team, especially with Jake Bates. That's a great story.
Part of it was, I think he injured the Rams tight end last year during that wild card game with one of those tackles.
It was Higbee at that time, wasn't it?
He
I remember
he ended
that.
up taking out Tyler Higbee because he went for the cut stick and he just blew his knee out.
Yeah, that was shameful. But Bruno, what are your thoughts on the division leaders right now?
All right. Well, I'm going to take a Vikings approach to this, I suppose. They're sitting in second.
Okay.
I don't know. When they were 5-0, I still wasn't very high on them, and they have lost 2 out of the last 3. Granted, one was a close game to the Lions.
The other one they should have won.
Yeah,
the Rams one, I mean, that call in the end zone for that safety.
One call does not determine an entire
I mean, that's
60-minute
true,
football
but it was a
game.
really bad call.
I
I'm
think
not
they were going to
denying
win
that.
either way.
They still would have had to
but-
drive 85 yards down the
Yeah.
field.
Yeah, they started,
Yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, they've done it before.
It's that, and you had plenty more opportunity to score more than 21 points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
know.
mean, yeah, it's true.
And you're a team that's putting up 34 against the Texans and 49ers. You should be putting up 34 against the Rams.
That's true. That was during the resurgence of the Rams season. I think they're on a winning streak right now. I think it's like 4 in a row or something like that. But you were saying about this Vikings team, Bruno?
Yeah, so I'm not super high on them still, but their schedule is pretty favorable. So I do think they're going to make a playoff run. Do I think they're going to go past the first round? No.
Typical, yeah.
They have the Jags and the Titans next, which that'll be an easy 7-2. Then they got the Bears, probably 8-2. So yeah, they've only played they have fared pretty good against the tops in the division though, which is the one thing that I'm buying into. Like, I don't know, I'm still not high on them, but they did beat the Packers, did beat the Lions, but even since that Lions game, I feel like a lot has changed since then.
Yeah, you think their wounds have been open since then?
Yeah.
That's usually typical for when an undefeated team gets their first loss.
I'd honestly say that they really started opening the second half of that Packers game because Green Bay outscored them 29-3.
Yeah,
in that
they
second
were up.
half.
Yeah, they were up like
28.
28.
I think the week after they played the Jets and they were just terrible. They just played
Yeah, they barely beat
football.
the Jets too, and that was in the middle of the Jets' terrible stretch
And then-
that they were
Was that
going
a
on.
Thursday night game?
No, it was
No,
a
it wasn't.
Monday game.
Sunday
It
night.
was in London.
It was London.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That,
I thought it was Sunday.
Now that
Why did I
seems
think it
about
was
right.
Sunday
Yeah.
night? I'm an idiot.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think they'll. I don't know. It's a tough. I mean, it's kind of a top 3, and then the Bears. I mean, mostly because the Bears.
Dang, dissing his own team is crazy.
I mean, look at the rest of the schedule. I mean, they'll beat the Patriots, I hope, and then it gets pretty bad from there.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna have an outside shot looking in, but like top 3 is gonna be an interesting finish, I would say, between the Packers, Lions, and Vikings. They finished the season actually against the Packers and Lions. The Vikings do.
That's
so that's
the thing.
going to be huge.
It might come down to those two
and
games.
I can definitely see it coming down to that because the Vikings have a favorable schedule other than that, and I do see them making the playoffs. I don't think they'll go very far, but I still am impressed with the way they've started the year so far.
I am too, and the fact that Hawkinson is slowly starting to come back. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as they get him back to his prime form, that offense is going to be a team.
It's gonna be tough.
I know, I mean,
Yeah, it's gonna be a
really
battle.
tough.
When all you got on offense is really Jefferson and Sam Darnold, I wouldn't think that they'd be sitting in this position right now.
Yeah,
but
it's
don't
no
hate
kidding.
Aaron Jones.
So-
Yeah, they got Aaron Jones too.
hate on
Put
Aaron
some respect
Jones.
on the former Packer,
Yeah,
the heartbreaker
he's-
Put
himself.
some respect on Showtime, all right, dude.
But, yeah.
Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say.
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
mean, I do agree with you. I really do feel like the Vikings, the last 2 games of the season are really going to depend on where they stand. They could either, if they win that Lions game, I think that they will win the division.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Packers are going
I don't know.
to fix everything
I
at
think
once.
when a Lions rematch, if like,
I don't
I
know
mean,
if they
right
want
now
that.
in today's time, if they rematch the Lions, I don't even think it's very close. So.
Oh, no, yeah, it's definitely not. I
So
mean,
we'll
that
have
team's
to
just
see
dominant.
we'll have to see how they finish
Yeah,
the season. It's
anything
going to
could
be
happen.
interesting because that could either go not so hot or I mean they could finish strong.
Yeah.
So I could see either or.
Only one way to find
Yeah.
out.
Only one way to find out. Jacob, let's hear your Bears rant. I can tell you got something cooking.
Once again, I'm sitting here feeling like an absolute idiot for thinking that this Bears team is different. Okay? There's every single year in and year out, it's this is a different team. This is a different team, and this comes back to Ryan Poles. Okay, Ryan Poles has constructed an offense with weapons for Caleb to use, right? But he has not constructed an offense to protect Caleb long enough to utilize these weapons.
Yeah, he's always running.
Ryan Poles then goes out and gets offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, who supposedly was the reason for the Geno Smith resurgence over the past 2
Actually, it
years.
was Dave Canals, but Shane Waldron took half the credit. So,
Well, yeah, sure. Shane Waldron took half the credit, and we
Yeah.
heard all about it, about
Yeah.
how Shane Waldron went ahead and changed Geno Smith, and that's what we thought we were getting.
yeah.
Right?
And now
He
you're-
then goes ahead and decides to not utilize Cole Kmet. You know how many targets Cole Kmet has over the past 2 weeks? You want to take a guess?
15?
Not even.
No.
How many
Not
targets do you
even?
want to guess?
0, isn't it?
0?
He has 1 target over
Yeah,
the
I
past
know,
2
last-
weeks.
Actually,
he has
I-
decided
actually-
to go ahead and utilize
How's that possible?
Mercedes Lewis, who just this season is the longest
Lock and
tenured
go.
tight end in the NFL history. He got the record. Sit him, bench him.
Lock and
He
go.
is a false start master. Every single game that he has played in, he has gotten a false start. I am tired of seeing Mercedes Lewis trying to be utilized more than Cole Kmet. I had to stop myself there. I'm getting a little too
I gotta
heated.
say,
in here.
I was listening to.
I can feel the blood
Caleb
burning.
is getting
I was-
absolutely murdered.
I was listening
Yes.
to 670 to score on my way back up from Whitewater following
man, God help
following this week's Bears loss, and there were a bunch of callers calling a conspiracy theory that they were punishing Cole Kmet for something. I don't remember what it was, but they were punishing Cole Kmet by not giving him any targets against the Cardinals.
Dude.
And the host were like, "What are these morons that are calling us right now talking about Cole Kmet not getting targets because of punishment? That makes no logical sense."
That is moronic. That is very moronic.
Yeah, and-
Now Caleb is getting killed out there because
yeah.
Ryan Poles decided to go out and get offensive weapons, but not try to protect our quarterback. He's on pace to get sacked 67 times this season, which would be tied for 6th most in NFL
Do
history.
you think?
Insane.
Do you think Eberflus should get fired?
Eberflus and Waldron
No matter
and
what
Ryan
even
Poles
happens.
for sticking with Eberflus needs to go.
What's crazy about this is that it's the same pattern since Trubisky. They hire a coach to set them up. The
Yep.
coach and the offensive coordinator doesn't do what they're supposed to do for the team with the quarterback. They fire them, get a new coach and coordinator, and then they bail on the quarterback, and then they repeat the cycle. It happened
See,
with
like,
Trubisky,
that's-
Fields, and now it's happening
that's
with
what I
Williams.
was
Will
about
it
to say.
end?
Like, because
Never.
perfect example of that too is Bryce Young. You can't put a young
Exactly.
quarterback in the NFL into a coaching carousel. You can't do that.
Now,
At that
And
point,
I'm
you've got to
not-
let them develop.
And the problem is, I know Eberflus has lost the locker room. I mean,
Completely.
DJ Moore's walking off the field in the middle of a play.
did you hear his interview today?
No, I did not.
He was asked if the coaching staff has lost the locker room, and he said, "I would like to say no," and that was his answer. He left.
Wow.
It at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He would like
I
to
mean,
say
it's-
no.
he's done.
He
It's
hasn't
no,
lost the
it's
locker
no
room,
secret
but no,
that
it's
he's
gone.
lost. He's lost the locker room for sure, but you also cannot put a young quarterback that's especially one like Caleb Williams, rookie. We know that there was some flaws that we saw in college, but his arm talent completely oversaw the flaws. You can't throw Caleb Williams into a situation where it's just coach carousel after coach carousel, because they did it to Bryce Young, who's supposed to be, Bryce Young's going to be the best quarterback in the draft class. Then they get, I think it was Matt Rule was their head coach for 8 games.
Matt Rule, yep.
Then it didn't work out. They fired him. Bryce Young still sucked because it was a coach carousel situation, and now he's on the bench. Well, not anymore, but he was benched earlier in the season.
We're now stunting the growth of another rookie quarterback. Because we can't get a solid coach the year that we draft a new quarterback. We decided to stick with Eberflus because he grew a beard and looked like a competent head coach.
I will say,
he is not a competent head coach. Get him out of here. By every metric, he is 0-18 on the road on Sundays. He has never gotten into a plane and said, good job, team. No, he has never on the road went ahead and said, good job, team. Let's go home to Chicago. Not once. He's 0-18. By every metric, he is a loser. Get him out of Chicago. I can't stand him.
It's a 6-7 score.
The worst part is these past 2 games were completely okay. Against Arizona, it was winnable in the first half, and it was Eberflus's fault for going ahead and on a run scenario play, going ahead and calling a pass coverage defense for the final play of the first half, and you let Arizona's third-string running back run the ball 50 yards down the field. Absolutely ridiculous. He comes out of the tunnel, tells a reporter, "That's my fault. I called a pass coverage there." Right? Okay, that completely ridiculous. What's also completely ridiculous is in Washington. That heartbreak Hail Mary that I had to witness in real time.
No discipline. Yeah.
Oh my God! Actually, let me tell you a little side story about this. I'm watching the game with my girlfriend. My girlfriend's like, "There's only 25 seconds left. They're not going to come back. It's basically a win for Chicago." And then that Hail Mary comes, and I tell her, "Get out of my house. I can't watch the game with you ever."
Just
again.
like a game of Madden, it's never over.
It's never over. But we left that game with all 3 timeouts. He did not take a timeout before the Hail Mary happened. I don't know. My blood's boiling right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely should call a timeout when your cornerback is sitting there yapping to the fans, not paying attention to the play whatsoever.
Yeah, make sure everyone on the field is on the same page.
From that too, which is so.
Yeah, he pulled himself up.
That
apologized
one play,
on Twitter and everything.
That one play, in my opinion, just represents the Chicago Bears as a franchise because they had the game won, it was over, and then it just one domino fell and everything else fell apart.
Yeah,
that's every year for the Bears.
I will admit,
somehow get the ball rolling a little bit.
Since 1986, it's been like that.
Thanks to Stevenson, we have one of the most memorable in-season moments in the past 5 years.
And karma.
That will never go away. That meme of Tyreek Stevenson looking towards the crowd, it's absolutely hilarious.
It is meme-worthy. It is beautiful.
It's very meme-worthy.
It's already memed. It's already been memed plenty of times.
I love those memes. I love those memes. But another thing that could be memed is the Favre imitations from Love and Hunter. What are your thoughts on this Packers team?
My blood's kind of boiling here too.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I think on Sunday we had 5 false starts. Well, we're at home.
Talk about the false starts.
We're at home.
So many flags.
I understand we're young, but man, it's just got to come together. And we made no trades. We did.
That's
Preston Smith to the Steelers for a 7th-round pick. Wow.
Cap room.
Wow. I thought we were going to bring in a cornerback because earlier in the day, Jaden Reed posted Greg Newsome on his story with the hearts, and I was like, oh my God, we're going to get Greg Newsome. Nothing happened.
I think even if you would have gotten Jones from the Patriots, that would have been nice too.
I thought we were going to make a trade.
Better than Keyshawn Nixon being on the field as a corner. If I ever see that one more time, I might cry. He's like the Pete Mrazek of football for me.
Yeah.
I mean, and just watching Love, sometimes when he throws the ball, I just hold my breath. I mean, the end of the second, man. What are you doing? Throw it away. You're out of the pot. You're scrambling out of the pocket. And I don't know if he was targeting Josh Jacobs but that's ridiculous. A pick 6 at the end of the half is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
come on. I was like, we might go into this. What was it? Was it 7 to? No, we didn't score a touchdown. It was 3-10. Maybe we can go in down 4, get a field goal. We'll look good. But no, we throw a pick 6, and the game was just basically over from there. I mean, I just
feel like
I know this Lions team is good, but come on.
Yeah, it's
The mistakes are ridiculous.
you really have to pin it on Love for the interceptions. I mean, he now is tied for the league most interceptions with 10 next to Geno Smith in the season. And he had back-to-back games of no touchdowns thrown, and his best QBR in the past 5 games was 83.7. That's abysmal.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in him. I'm a huge Love supporter.
He's got to be safer. He can't be a gambler.
I think
Exactly.
a lot of it, honestly, is that like when we see with Malik Willis, LaFleur's in his bag. His play calls are insane. It was kind of like that last season. At the end of the season, LaFleur was in his bag with Jordan Love, and they just meshed so well. But now he's kind of stepped away from all these insane, some of the better play calls in the playbook.
Yeah.
He's giving it more simplicity than complexity, and it's starting to kind of show that maybe Matt LaFleur might have been a part of the reason Jordan Love looks so freaking good. And it's unfortunate that I have to admit that, but it's starting to really look like that because we saw in Utah State he was throwing 17 interceptions. He was throwing insane interceptions. He was pure gunslinger. And it's looking like he's brought that to Green Bay now as well.
Yeah. But also another take is the drops. The drops on this team are costly. We had 6 on Sunday. I mean, come on. I understand that some of the throws aren't the best, but they should be caught at the NFL level. Yeah, there was we were down 3-17. Dontavian Wicks had a slant, hit him right in the chest. He dropped it. Come on, man. I understand it's raining. I understand the weather's bad, but you got to catch it, man. I mean, I don't know. I still see us finishing either 12-5 or 11-6. I think the last part of our schedule is we got some hard games. 49ers with McCaffrey being back. That's going to be really hard.
Oh, he's going to be back?
Yeah, he's actually projected to play this Sunday against Tampa Bay.
Oh, let's go! Finally getting off my fantasy IR.
Dude, I've seen so many things where he was not going to be back to week 14.
I didn't think so either. I
but-
mean, especially when he went overseas, I thought 9 times out of 10 you're done when you go overseas.
I see us losing to the Lions and the Vikings again, and maybe
That's
the
fair.
49ers. But the Saints, the Dolphins, sorry Carson, the Seahawks, they don't look that good. I think we beat the Bears twice.
Okay.
Also.
All right. Hear me out.
Say that right next to Jacob. That's a bold move.
The Seahawks will win that Packer game.
103-yard pick six.
Our corners are better than your corners, so I think we have a better
Except
chance
for
there.
Jair Alexander.
You can say that.
Okay.
Keyshawn Nixon. Anyone's better than Keyshawn Nixon.
If we get Pro Bowl Devin Witherspoon that game, you're done.
If we
You're
get first
done.
team All-Pro Jair Alexander that game,
Okay.
you're done too. So what's your point?
I mean, even if you get regular Jair, Gino's
we get a
definitely going to
competent
throw.
coaching staff here. Bears versus Seahawks on December 26th.
Oh, yeah.
Will be a good game.
That'll be a great game.
Oh, my
Honestly, at this rate, it might be the Trash Bowl. It might be.
We had the Trash Bowl this previous weekend with Titans Patriots. That
the
one
Tank
was,
Bowl of the century.
That was pretty bad.
Tank Bowl. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was.
My opinion on the entire NFC North is that 2 weeks ago we were the strongest division in the NFL,
Yeah.
and now every team is a fraud except for the Detroit Lions.
I wouldn't say that. I still
Every
think
team
this
is a
team.
fraud in
I
the
mean,
NFC North.
every
except for
team-
the Detroit Lions.
Every team in the division does have their faults, but I still think that this division is still the best in football.
Who's the most all-round team in the NFC North right now?
I mean, it's the Lions.
It's the Lions.
definitely the
Okay.
Lions.
Minnesota
I
Vikings.
think second is probably
Do the Lions
the
have a
Vikings.
QB problem?
Do who?
Do the Lions have
when
a
it comes
QB
to
problem?
throwing the ball down the field,
Yeah.
yes.
At that point, yeah.
Okay, 18 for 18 2 weeks ago was a problem.
I can also throw to my running back 18 times.
Oh,
out of
well, it's great
18.
when you got the best running back duo in football, right? And Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery.
Oh yeah, David
Yeah.
Montgomery.
One of the best offensive lines.
Yeah, they
By
got
the
the
way,
best
yeah.
offensive line in the league.
That's true as well.
Their
Nearly
defense is pretty
11
gritty.
and
They just
50
picked up an
yards
edge
for
rusher. They're down Aiden Hutchinson, but he'll be back next year.
Yeah, Zadarius
This
Smith is
year,
older
I
than
think the
Hutchinson.
Lions are Super Bowl or bust. This is a legit NFC North team.
I would,
The rest of the, I'm saying first or second round bounces
I
for
would-
Packers and Vikings.
That's
I
a
would,
fair
I would
assumption.
honestly
That's a
say,
fair assumption.
Lions isn't Super Bowl or bust just yet because our secondary is very young. They still have Terrion Arnold, rookie year. They have someone else I don't remember what his name is. Is it Kool-Aid McKinstry?
Yep, it's Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Kool-Aid McKinstry, rookie year. Brian Branch, second year. Really, I think literally the most experienced DB right now is Kirby Joseph right now. And obviously, he's not really the most liked guy on the planet.
No,
so.
he's not. I mean, we were just talking about it earlier. He's a scummy player.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move into our next topic here. deer in headlights, just like
Just so fitting.
just like some of our football teams. The Bucks have not been doing great. I mean, 1-6 and bottom of the Eastern Conference. I think I heard a stat saying it was like there was 28 teams in the NBA history that started out like this, and 12 or more didn't make the playoffs or something like that. It was a stat that does not look good for us. But I would just like, a discussion of about what we've seen so far, what the future may hold for the team, if there's any positives, and if we can fix them. And, of course, where we would end in the season. So I'll start with Hunter. With this Bucks team, what are your thoughts on them?
2 words, Doc Rivers. I can't stand Doc
Shout it.
Rivers.
Shout it.
Please don't shout it.
Okay,
Please
yeah, don't shout it into the
actually.
mic, but
Please don't actually.
I can't stand him. I understand. I kind of understand why we fired Adrian Griffin, but I don't at the same time. He was 30-13.
I
understand.
really don't.
I understand we were giving up some of the most points in the NBA, if not the most. But come on, man.
it was also a locker room thing with getting him gone.
This is kind of just turned into Giannis Antetokounmpo's team. Whatever he wants, he's going to get. And I believe this Bucks team is too good not to make the playoffs. I think they'll find their ground and get some wins and, get into the playoffs. But, I mean, this team is very frustrating. I mean, back-to-back games against the Cavs, we lost by 2 both times.
Yeah,
and we were up within the final 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
come on.
A player to blame for the loss is just some of the guys that weren't stepping up, like Portis.
Exactly.
He needed that rebound.
I can't stand Portis right now. Sometimes either he'll play amazing or he'll play awful.
Yep.
And we need to trade Brook Lopez. I can't stand Brook Lopez. He's
honestly,
too old. He's too old.
I think it's time.
Honestly, going back to Adrian Griffith though, or Andrew Griffith, I feel like a good comparisons like Jim Caldwell when he was on the Lions. Like they weren't great by any means because the Lions went like 9-8,
Yeah.
or 8-8, whatever they went. And then they said, "Oh, we're just gonna fire him, get Matt Patricia," and then it just went downhill. That's what the Bucks feel like right now. They're in the Detroit Lions fans of the late 2010s. They're just falling apart now.
Yeah, I definitely need a coaching change. I was really hoping that they would do something in the offseason with the coaching because it was clearly a problem in the in-season too.
Well, the problem is that you signed him to that mega extension.
Which I didn't want that.
You fire him, you're going to be paying so much money. It's not even funny. You're paying an insane amount of money just because you made the dumbest decision maybe in your franchise's history. Maybe. It's up there.
Is it worth it to cut him and pay that though?
If your
just
team's
to get a new coach?
Not really. Because you're still paying 2 other coaches right now after you fired them. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You fired 2 other coaches, you're still paying them, and they're both on different teams.
Yeah.
Both are on different teams right now, and you're paying them to coach against you in some games. And you do that to Doc Rivers, maybe he's not going to be, on a different team. Maybe he's done after the Bucks, but you're still going to be paying him a bunch of money. I think your best case scenario, if you are still under 500 going into the All-Star break, into the trade deadline, might be time to pull the plug, reset the squad.
Oh, I do not agree with that. I mean, I have heard some things about
they're only getting older.
The Bucks, or not the Bucks, but there was like some teams that were like asking about Giannis to trade for, and I was like, there's absolutely no shot, no way, never.
It could happen.
I really don't think so.
It could.
Oh no.
If he would have to, I think we could trade Giannis.
It's a possibility.
He would have to.
What are we doing here?
I don't want it to happen, but I'm just worried he's going to fall into that like James Harden type thing and force his way out. Be like, I want to be traded, or I'm not going to play.
I don't think so. I mean,
I
think he's
believe
gonna
he should
force
leave
his
the
way.
Bucks. I don't, but I mean,
I think he. Yeah, he does like winning, and he does want to have like a legacy for himself. But I do also feel like
he loves Milwaukee.
He loves Milwaukee, and Milwaukee loves him.
Now, he loves Milwaukee, but out of all the cities in the United States,
I know where you're going with this.
Chicago has the largest Greek presence out of any city.
We do need to get
home. It'd be his second home. Get him into Greek town.
Patrick Williams is an absolute bum. I cannot watch that dude play basketball. I don't watch enough basketball already. And then I have to watch Patrick Williams. It makes me depressed every time. It makes me feel like I could play basketball.
Hypothetically, what would the Bulls give up for Giannis? Because now I'm curious.
Bunch of firsts, bunch of picks, probably Zach LaVine.
That's
we don't need.
He's a 20-point scorer, so don't even start saying he's terrible. So don't start with that.
I kind of don't like that trade. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, unless you're giving me like 3 firsts. Oh, okay, that's better.
So that's a lot better. Kobe White.
Oh, if you're adding Zach LaVine and Kobe White, yeah, I'll take that easily. I'll take that.
Happen because
we're also not going to trade Giannis. So I mean, now we're running in circles in a fairy tale.
Could happen. It's a possibility.
So Jacob, your thoughts on this Bucks team?
My thoughts on this Bucks team are I saw an article written about 2 hours ago now saying Doc Rivers in an interview is guaranteeing we will. This is a direct quote. We will make the playoffs. I'm not worried about that. Now, it's pretty easy to make the playoffs. There's 30 teams, 16 teams make the playoffs before the play-in. Yeah, okay, you're fired if you don't make the playoffs.
Right, yeah.
Okay, congrats. You made the playoffs when a majority of the teams in the league also make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And you brought up a quote. I'm going to bring up a quote, too. He said earlier today that they didn't practice or do anything live. They just skeletoned it. How are you going to, after back-to-back losses, not practice and just skeleton it? How? It's like you don't even sit. Oh, well, yeah. But like back-to-back close wins is what I meant with the Cavs. But how are you going to have that and not practice? The only way I can think that this makes logical sense is if he was trying to implement some of the people that were a little bit injured, like Giannis, Beauchamp, and Connaughton. That's it. If you were just trying to get them in, fine. But if they could have moved around and done something with the team live and you didn't do it, you're really showing no dedication. It's just unbelievable.
I think tomorrow's game is going to tell a lot. We're playing the 1-6 Jazz at home. We have to win that.
This is our championship.
If we don't win that, there's going to be a lot of questions.
Tank Bowl basketball edition.
Yeah.
I thought we looked good against the Cavs both games.
I mean, I thought we did too. We let up. The thing that I'm like most disappointed about is that in the mid-fourth, that 7-point lead we just let slip away. And then it's all because of like certain individuals not pulling their weight, just like Bobby Portis, when he should have got that rebound, but instead he slapped it away, and then they got the ball, and then from there on it was gone.
Maybe don't give Gary Trent Jr. 30 minutes either. I'm just gonna say that
dude,
he had 3 points. He had 3 points that game. He had what?
He missed 23 of his last 29 shots. 23 of his last 29.
Ever since the Bucks have gotten rid of their best player on the team, they've just been
Grayson Allen.
No.
My legend.
No, Thanasis. They got rid of Thanasis and they've been sledding downhill. That's what happens when you get rid of the locker room glue guy.
That's locker room glue guy.
I'm being so honest. He was a very pivotal piece to that team, more than what people think. I think because a locker room guy is huge, and it shows. Okay, I don't like the way you're looking at me, but I mean,
I also don't think we looked bad against the Celtics a couple week ago or so. I thought
we looked terrible against the Chicago Bulls, though. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, that game was abysmal. That game was abysmal. That game was pretty bad.
I don't know.
Kobe White is your father.
Yeah,
it's official.
I think I have to admit I really do like Kobe White. But Bruno, your thoughts on this Bucks team?
Pretty much already been said, but obviously they'll make the playoffs. I'm not worried about that. But man, I don't know. The grass we're finding out was not greener after. I mean, it wasn't broke when they won that ship, so I don't know why they had to change everything. Bring in Dame. Who, I mean, Mikey said maybe mid-season they'll blow it up, but I do think that maybe they'll try for one more postseason run.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, I think they have to blow it up and ship everybody out besides
right now they are deep in the slumps of under 500. I'm saying like if they are still in this like okay they are
then maybe
abysmal,
if they're like bottom half of the East, then
not even
maybe
in the
blow it up.
like not even in the play-in by mid-season, I would not be too shocked to see them just pull the trigger.
Yeah, but Middleton's got to go.
Yeah.
Bobby's got to go. I mean, get
Middleton
everybody
has
out of there.
had to go.
Yeah.
He should have been gone
I know.
instead of Drew.
Wow.
I still
I think
cannot get over that
Middleton.
trade.
Middleton, Brooke, and Bobby, all three of them
Yep.
for sure.
Sell him.
Maybe
get
even
him
Dame.
gone.
I don't know.
I wouldn't get rid of Dame. I don't
Yeah.
think we're gonna. I mean,
Couple more years,
If
but he
we're
doesn't have
willing-
much left in him.
if we're willing to get rid of Giannis, then we're definitely not going to be willing to get rid of Dame because
No, I don't. I think they're
We
going
gotta
to
keep
blow
one of
pretty
them.
much everything up besides Giannis and Dame. Kind of rebuild around them. So that's my prediction. We're going to get bounced pretty early in the playoffs.
I think so too. I'm not expecting
kind of
a
a
shit.
rebuild. I mean, the team. They're kind of out of their prime. You know, it's been nice for the last couple of years, but
Yeah.
I think it's sad to say they're out of their prime. So
Yeah, it really does suck. It hurts my head just looking back on this team of how good we were just so recently, and now looking at this record, 1-6, abysmal. I can't even.
yeah, and then they got the Celtics next, and
Loss. That's a
there's
loss.
somebody else. I'm not. Oh, the Knicks too. Celtics and
That's a
Knicks.
loss.
Which the Knicks are 3-3, but yeah, probably two
Still a
losses in a
loss,
row
yeah.
again. So
Honestly, if
they'll
you would've
probably be
said-
2-8 in 3 games.
If you would have said any other team, I still would have said loss.
Yeah.
Any other team, I still would have said
Jazz.
well,
loss.
I don't think they're going
Loss.
to lose to the Jazz.
Detroit
I hope not, dude.
Pistons.
I really hope
I think we
not.
got serious problems if they're
The
losing to the
Detroit
Jazz.
Pistons.
Oh, dude, that's just.
Oh yeah,
sad
they do
if we
play the
lose.
Pistons coming up
The
too,
East
but they're
is-
3-5, man. We're 1-6.
What? How are they 3-5?
They beat the Lakers.
They were like
Yeah.
3-30 last year.
Wow.
The East is terrible though.
Oh, the East is.
The Heat sit
abysmal,
at
yeah.
third at 3-3. So
Yeah, it's literally
Still
the
got a chance.
Celtics and Cavaliers, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cavs should
nothing
not
else
be
right
8-0
now.
though. I'll
Sounds
tell
like
you
the
that.
Heat need
Yeah.
Giannis.
No, no.
don't start.
You know. Yeah. Okay.
Don't
Okay.
start.
Well, the last thing I'll say about this before we move on to the next topic is that there's really nothing positive to take away from this team, except the players have the passion for it. I mean, they can strive with what they got in the locker room with that, but the scheme that they're working with is terrible. Some of the players are the ones tanking the team for us, as I mentioned. Portis and Lopez has also been a bit of a struggle to deal with. But when we get some of these guys back, like Middleton and Giannis, maybe a turnaround. But I really
well, Middleton
just
will
there's
get
not a
hurt
lot.
3
There's
more
not enough.
times by
Oh
the
yeah,
end
of
of the
course he
year.
will. Of
Yeah.
course he will. And he'll have one Kobe Bryant game, and then he'll be Fishman again. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But moving on to Hawks and hockey. Now, last week we did superlatives, a little bit of just the prior week and the whole season. But this week it's just going to be of the past week. And same factors as before: best team, worst team, best winger, center, etc., etc. And we're going to go through these. I want a little bit of an in-depth response to it, but we're going to fly through these a little bit quick just so that we can get to the final topic. And I'm going to start it with Mikey. Start us off here. Take your pick of whichever one you want to say, and then we'll move on to Bruno.
I'm gonna go to best goalie. Personally,
Ooh,
I'm going
okay.
Connor Hellebuyck. Is that how you say it, right?
Hellebuyck?
Yeah. Currently 9-1 for a goalie perspective. 923 save percentage, 2.1 goals against average, 2 shutouts. One of 3 goalies right now to
Yep.
have multiple shutouts so far this season.
Dog.
He's been nearly impossible to get the puck past through 10 games, and as I already mentioned, 2 shutouts, dominant between the sticks, strikes fear in every team that dares
dog.
tries to put a puck in the goal. It's almost never going to happen. Key reason why the Jets are where they are right now, obviously they're 12-1, and 9 of those wins coming from him. Of course, they have the one
Yep.
loss with him, but it's one loss. You can't judge him too much when he has 9 wins through 10 games.
Yeah, I just wish that in fantasy it would translate to how good he is, because I traded for him and he gave me -7 points his first start for my team. So awesome. That's great. And I lost to the
Awesome
best
sauce.
team in the league. Thanks, Sierra. I really appreciate that. Bruno,
I'm
give me
gonna
your superlative.
This kind of ties into 2: best team of the week and best center.
Okay.
a guy from Nové Mesto na Morave, Czechia.
Hey, Bruno. All right, Bruno.
Martin Necas. I don't know if I'm saying that last Necas on the Hurricanes. Hurricanes have been on fire, and he's in his last 4 games. He's got 11 points, which is more than half that he's got on the entire year. So he's been pucking lately, and so has the team. They've won 7 in a row, which they're climbing their way up. I mean, nobody's topping the Jets, but they started off 2-2, and now they are 9-2. And yeah, he's got a goal in his last 4 games. In one of those games, he had 3 assists as well, 2 assists in another game. So he's been
racking
balling.
up the points.
So,
yeah. The Hurricanes, when they're a healthy team and they play their best, they
make
can
it to the conference finals and then lose.
Yeah. Honestly, it might happen again, but who knows? But
yeah, they are solid. But after a 2-2 start, kind of shaky, but they definitely figured it out. So
I have a player from that team too on my superlative, and I'll mention them when we get there. But Jacob, your superlative?
Cole Caulfield is the Wisconsin kid. I think he's the best winger in the NHL right now.
Okay.
Yep. That's what I said. That's what I said last week. Yeah, and they were like, "No, he's not."
For basing it off
Cole
goals
Caulfield is legit. 23-year-old kid from actually I don't even know how to pronounce this. I'm not from Wisconsin.
He's from Stevens Point.
Apparently, Nikita Kucherov and Kaprizov.
You don't know how to pronounce Stevens Point?
It's not.
No, he's not from Stevens Point.
Mosinee?
Mosinee? Okay.
Mosinee.
He's from
Mosinee?
Mosinee, Wisconsin. Dead
Never heard of
center
that
in the
place.
state. Well, yeah, I've never heard of it either.
That's right, my point. I know when I looked, it said Point. Same thing.
Interesting. But
But he's currently tied for first in goals. He scored 10 goals this season. I think he's best winger in the NHL right now.
Because he changed his number to
that's
Gaudreau's
crazy.
number.
I'm going to be honest. That is very crazy to say in the NHL period.
Nikita Kucherov apparently does not exist.
Yeah. Or
Apparently he
Kaprizov
died.
doesn't exist either.
Yeah, apparently both Khalil and Nikita just died over the weekend.
A little crazy. I mean, I respect the take. However, interesting. But I mean, this is for week 4, so
Fair.
I do see your point. Hunter,
The worst team is obviously the Seattle Kraken. I mean,
are you serious? Hold up. All right, catch me outside.
No, I'll just go with
They're
best.
down there, though.
I'll go with.
He's got a point. Wait, let
I'll
him
go
go.
with the best team, the Winnipeg Jets. The Winnipeg, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Winnipeg.
good.
Yep.
I mean, they got a goal differential of 32. They're starting off. They're 9-1 in their last 10. I mean, insane.
Well, they're 12-1 in their last 13.
Oh, really? Well, it just shows last on Google. So, but unfortunately, my Minnesota Wild are right below them. So, I am a Blackhawks Minnesota Wild fan.
I respect half of that. The Wild, I love the Wild, dude. Excuse me? You got something to say over there?
Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I'm sorry. How great are the Blackhawks now?
Terrible.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Hey,
that's
they've
right.
won 2 in a row.
Yeah, 2-win streak.
Oh, 2 in a row. Whoa. Settle down now.
And
Here we come.
they currently sit a half a game ahead of the Seattle Kraken.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
I knew it.
Bombs
I knew
in
it.
Seattle.
All right, moving on. So, which one do I want to pick? I'll go with the. So you mentioned the Hurricane earlier, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll mention their rookie, and then I'll go through most of mine, and then we'll just go into the final topic, which will be the final thoughts for this. But Jackson Blake, I believe for the rookies, he has been. In the past week, the most exceptional, the best.
That's fair.
I mean, it's hard right out of the gate to be good as a rookie. So when I see a 3-point streak, that's 3 games in a row with at least 1 point, I was immediately impressed. One of those games, he also shot 100%, which is kind of crazy.
Just a little bit.
I mean, he did only shoot once,
Yeah,
but still.
1 for 1.
One for
Batting
one
1,000.
says a lot.
Yeah.
And another game had him with a 2 plus-minus, and no other game was a negative. So that really tells what this team is
Well,
with him
I
on
see
the
I
ice.
see 2 out of his last 3 where he went 1 for 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one wasn't that last week. That was earlier this week.
Yeah, it was
so
earlier this week.
Another one that I'll say, Sam Earson, best goalie. Having 2 games with a save percentage of 100 is insane.
It's 100%
A
fair.
crazy flex to have. What'd you say?
It's 100% fair.
It is 100% fair. I like that. That's one for the pun board. And when they both happen to be from Boston, it just makes it that much sweeter because I'm pretty sure everybody in this room does not like the Bruins. He only saw 8 shots in the second matchup, but still, Flyers ended up losing with that. But he was only in the game for about 7 minutes. And then one more that I will say, it feels like 2008 when I say both of these. Best center, Sidney Crosby. Best winger, Alex Ovechkin.
Love that.
Dude, crazy to have those in here. But
Yeah, when they're both 48.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just crazy to hear. But
When they're both grandfathers at this point almost.
yeah, and they're still elite. But Crosby leads the team in goals with 6 and put up 2 in the game against Montreal last week, who I have as the worst team, and gaining a total of 8 points in Week 4 with a back-to-back double-goal game. And he continued to set them up for success, whereas Ovechkin also leads the team with goals with 7, put up 9 total points in the last week with a 4-game streak of at least 1 goal. And he also had a shot percentage of 100 in the victory against Montreal and averaged around 3 shots per game in that span. So both guys playing like they're back in their prime. Good to see.
It's just crazy to see how long hockey players can go compared to any other sport.
And
It's
you take
the most longevity.
in hockey. You take a beating.
Yeah, but
in
it's
hockey.
because you're only out there for
You're
like
out
a
there for a
minute,
minute.
Yeah, that's
2
true.
at a time.
Like
yeah.
two minutes, but if you're real good, you can be out there for like 10 minutes. I know Bedard, even in his rookie year, he was out there for like 10 minutes at one point, which was kind of crazy for a rookie to see. But we're gonna.
He's the only player that really puts up any production on your team. You kind of need him out there.
Lev Shinov, hold up, give Lev Shinov some time.
I was just saying, like, before Lev Shinov.
Oh yeah, before Lev Shinov. No, yeah,
He was one of the only players put up anything.
Yeah, I believe him and Seth Jones are like the only 2 guys that you can really give a mark for. But we're going to move on to our final topic, which will turn into our final thoughts considering the time. It is playoffs in the making. Now, the first football school playoff rankings were released yesterday, and some intriguing placements. Oregon leads with number 1, while Bama and Boise State sit right outside the top 10. Let's just go over what these rankings are and how we feel about them. So, Jacob, you want to start us off with the rankings?
You want me to read off the rankings right now?
No, just give what stands out to you. What do you like about it? What do you not like about the rankings and how they got there?
SMU climbing up. SMU had a nice win this past week. SMU is no longer in the group of 5. They're now a Power 4 conference. Now that they joined the ACC for the first time this year. And they went ahead and dismantled Pitt. Pitt was ranked 18th in the nation for this game, and they beat them 48-25, climbed up 7 spots in the polls, and that sits them at 13th in the nation. Unless we see a BYU, Alabama, or Notre Dame loss, I don't see SMU making it to the playoffs. So
he's not ready. He's not ready for the take that's coming from.
No,
are you talking about Boise State?
No, he's got something cooking.
You'll see.
Oh,
it's a hot take.
Oh no, it's not. I know exactly what he's talking about.
What is it?
Are you talking Indiana to win the Big Ten?
No.
Oh.
What, Indiana to make the playoffs?
No.
That's a no-brainer.
You'll find out.
We'll get there. We'll get there. You have anything else you want to say? Or?
Boise State. As long as Oregon keeps playing as the number 1 team in the country, it can only help Boise State. Boise State's only loss on the year was to
Oregon.
It was number 10 at the time, or number 4 at the time. Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
As long as Oregon stays number 1 in the
7.
nation, it helps Boise State.
I'm rooting
number
for
7.
Boise State.
They're number 7. They only lost by 3 at Oregon. So.
Hunter, your thoughts?
Yeah, my hottest take is I don't think this Indiana team is as good as they look. I mean, they're sitting in 8th. I mean, they've yet to play a ranked opponent. I mean, I just don't think they're as good. I mean, I don't know. They beat Northwestern by 17. Okay. No, they beat Maryland by 14.
beat Nebraska by 49.
I don't want to talk about that.
I guess so, but come on, I just
Ice
don't.
in the vein.
I don't think this Indiana team is as good as they appear to be in the rankings. They're projected to finish 9th. I don't think they're going to finish 9th. I think they're going to fall. I think Ohio State will wallop them in 2 weeks. Absolutely destroy them.
I think it might be 3, maybe.
3 weeks?
I think
Is it 3?
I think Indiana has a bye week
got a
after this
bye.
week.
Okay. Well, I think Ohio State will kill them. But Oregon's losing to the Badgers this weekend. So.
Yes. Love the dedication. Love it.
But yeah, I mean, my team, I would say to watch out for is Miami. They're so good. I love Miami.
love that. I love
Nope,
that.
not
Ever since
buying
they had
that.
that massive comeback,
Yeah.
I love that.
not buying
Cam
it.
Ward, watch out for him.
I did
It
say
looked like a
Miami was
joke
going 12-0 this year.
against They looked like a joke.
Simmer down now. Simmer down.
Cam Ward's clip farming. That's
Oh my gosh. Clip farming? What is he, Joshua?
He's running out of clean pocket to throw on the run.
That's my guy.
Yeah, that's my goat. My real
Yeah,
goat.
me too.
Mikey.
I'm sticking with Indiana, like what he said, except I'm saying they're losing this week. They're losing to Michigan State, or to Michigan Wolverines, not Michigan State. They already played Michigan State.
Yeah, that was gonna be my
They
take.
already beat Michigan State, but Indiana is losing this week to the Michigan Wolverines. I think they're going to be completely overlooking this Michigan team, thinking, they're terrible. They're 5-4. Last year they were undefeated. They're bums now. And Michigan, they're fighting to go bowling right now. They got a chip on their shoulder. I think Indiana's going to overlook them, thinking we're number 8 in the country. We're going to smoke them, And I think they're going to fall. I think they're going to fall to Michigan, and I think they're going to go to Ohio State. They're going to lose They're going to lose to Ohio State because the reason I think they're also playing in the Big House. Maybe are they playing in the Big House or no?
In Ohio State?
No, in Michigan.
No,
Oh,
they're
no,
playing
no.
in Indiana.
I still does
Indiana.
not change.
And
Does not
Michigan,
change
who
the state.
has quarterback problems with Blake Orgy, and they're going up against Kirk Cignetti, the first-year coach for Indiana coming out of James Madison. He wins. Google Kirk Cignetti. Kirk Cignetti wins
he'll
big
let you
ball
know
games.
Yeah,
about
I'm,
it, too.
I'm saying Indiana's finishing with 2 losses this year, and they're going to drop out of the rankings. Give me SMU in the college football playoffs this year. It's happening. I'm calling it. Give me the SMU
Polar opposites.
Mustangs.
Okay.
In the
I
college
like
football
it.
playoffs.
I got somebody else sneaking in.
Oh, okay. Well, let's hear it,
If you
Bruno.
say Colorado, I swear, you better not say Colorado.
Nah, I got Ole Miss is gonna beat Georgia this weekend at home, and they're gonna have to put them in.
Actually, I see that,
They're
yeah.
gonna have to put them in the top 12. I mean, they're 16, beating the number 3 team. You can sneak them easily over SMU or Boise State. Whether that'll happen or not, no idea. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Indiana, but you guys already touched up on that. I keep counting them out every week. They keep proving me wrong every week. But I mean, when you look at the strength of schedule and the teams in the top 12 right now, Indiana's far worst. I mean, they haven't played nobody very good, and
We're talking about Western Illinois is an absolute demon school.
I could see them falling. I could see them falling to Michigan. I do think they'll beat Michigan. I do think they're going to get absolutely destroyed against Ohio State, and that might give them a case to drop 4 spots out of the rankings. And my guys from Ole Miss will jump in.
All right. Well, anybody else got anything to say on these rankings?
Wisconsin's going to beat Oregon, and then they're going to beat Nebraska in Nebraska. Then they're going to take the axe, and they're going to win the college football national championships.
Oh, yeah.
Hot
Totally.
take. Steaming.
Totally.
Okay.
Totally, 100%.
I would only say
And
that.
Miami's not legit either. That's all I gotta say.
Jeez.
I agree with
How
Bruno
y'all
on this
hating
one.
on
Miami's
them?
not legit.
I mean, if you
Cam
look,
Ward is-
I've watched them all season long because they always play on Friday nights for some reason.
Yeah.
But they haven't looked very legit. They should have lost to Virginia Tech. That should be a loss.
Should've
Louisville
lost
too.
Louisville,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
It's
don't know.
Louisville, dude.
They're gonna win out because the ACC is dog water, but
It is bad.
But the committee's glaze for Alabama needs to stop. I can't
Yeah.
stand
It's
it.
100% true. They
I
need to
can't
get off
stand it.
Alabama.
I can't
Yeah.
stand it. I'm just saying, if the Badgers were like the 8th seed and they lost to an unranked opponent, we'd probably be 20th. But if it's Alabama, you drop to like 12th. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's because it's Alabama. When it comes down to the CFP committee, they're trying to create the best product for fans, so it generates
yeah,
more
because no
revenue.
matter how Alabama does, they're always gonna put up a fight in the playoffs. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alabama is the most marketable university, arguably, right now.
Yep.
Besides them, I guess you say Ohio State.
All
You
right.
want one final hot take?
Let's hear it.
Better be quick.
All right, I say Boise State goes ahead and loses to Nevada this week, and I think Army goes ahead and wins out and makes the college
What
football
in the
playoff.
world, dog?
Army undefeated right now.
1942 or something? Like,
All right. Okay.
What are we
We
doing?
have 40 seconds. I'm gonna point at you, and you're gonna say who you think's gonna win the Heisman. Mikey.
Genty.
Okay, Genty.
God, I want to say Genty or Hunter.
Okay, Hunter.
Genty.
Genty.
Cam Ward.
Okay, I actually respect that take.
Should be Genty.
I'm gonna say Genty, but I do like the Cam Ward pick. I
gotta
think
be
I think he's
Genty.
probably the best quarterback in this class at this point. But that's gonna do it here for this Wednesday edition of Hawk Talk on 91.7 The Edge, WSUW Whitewater. Have a wonderful day. Do 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 do.